Imagine the summer of 2010. The globe is watching the World Cup final in South Africa. The Spanish national team is passing the ball around with a mesmerizing rhythm. Xavi Hernandez threads a perfectly weighted pass through the defensive lines. But instead of Andres Iniesta running onto it, the camera pans to a diminutive player, wearing the number 10 shirt in the vivid red of Spain. He drops a shoulder, glides past two defenders, and chips the goalslucker. Today, we are exploring how a single decision could have rewritten the history of the beautiful game. We are looking at the timeline where Lionel Messi chose to wear the colors of Spain instead of Argentina, examining the secret operations that almost made it happen and the tactical shifts that would have followed. This reality was closer than many realize. Messi left his hometown of Rosario, Argentina at just 13 years old. Because FC Barcelona offered to pay for the medical treatment his family could not afford, he spent his entire adolescence at La Masia. He trained in the Spanish system and lived on Spanish soil long enough to be genuinely eligible for citizenship by 2005. The Royal Spanish Football Federation recognized his potential early on. By 2004, the technical staff had the paperwork drawn up and ready to call the 17-year-old up for their under-20 squad. While traveling in Europe for coaching education, former Argentina youth coach Jose Pekerman heard of this plan. He realized Argentina was days away from losing the most important player in their history. Under the FIFA rules of the era, if Messi had represented Spain for even a single minute in an official youth capacity, his national eligibility would be locked to the Spanish national team forever. Pekerman contacted his staff to assemble a squad immediately. He argued that Messi didn't even need to play a full tournament. He just needed one official FIFA-recorded friendly to block Spain's claim. This triggered a bureaucratic race to organize a match against Paraguay. To welcome the new prodigy, they hosted this last-minute match at the Stadium of Argentinos Juniors, the birthplace of Diego Maradona. Messi played his first official minutes in an 8-0 win, making him permanently Argentine. Even though former Spain head coach Vicente Del Bosque later admitted the federation made every possible effort to persuade him to join the senior side, Messi refused because he only felt the colors of his birth country. This near-clandestine bureaucratic scramble is the exact nexus point that saved Argentine history and left the Spanish team to wonder what their era of dominance could have looked like with the world's most prolific attacker. Between 2008 and 2012, Spain went on a dominant 4-year run. Under Luis Aragonés, they deployed a fluid 4-1-4-1 system, where Xavi Hernandez, Andres Iniesta, and David Silva controlled the tempo, using high possession numbers to keep the opposition away from the ball. Yet, during the 2010 World Cup, Spain struggled to find the net. Because opponents defended with deep, compact lines, Spain averaged 44 passes per shot and relied on narrow 1-0 victories. If we drop Lionel Messi into this squad, we see a synergy that was already proven at the club level. He was training alongside Xavi, Iniesta, and Busquets daily. Playing Messi as a false nine would have forced opposing defenders into impossible decisions. If they step up into the midfield to track his movement, they leave gaps for wingers like David Villa to exploit. If they stay deep, they give the sport's most effective creator space to pick his passes. In 2012, Del Bosque deployed a 4-6-0 formation, packing the midfield with Cesc Fabregas as the most advanced point. In this hypothetical, we replace him with a 24-year-old Messi, the player who scored 91 goals in a single calendar year. Spain won the 2012 Euros without conceding a single goal in the knockout stages. Adding a player coming off a 91-goal season to that defensive foundation suggests a level of dominance that few teams in history could have matched. We can look to the present day. Where does a veteran Messi fit into the Euro 2024 winning Spanish squad under Luis de la Fuente? This creates an immediate positional conflict. The right wing is occupied by 18-year-old sensation Lamine Yamal, the player of the tournament at Euro 2024. To make it work, Messi would likely operate centrally, orchestrating one-touch passes with Pedri, while Yamal and Nico Williams provide speed on the flanks. However, modern Spanish tactics rely on a highly synchronized high press, where the central attacker is responsible for blocking passing lanes and forcing play wide. An older Messi typically conserves energy for attacking moments and does not participate in defensive pressing. This would result in a broken defensive grid, forcing the rest of the team to cover more ground to maintain their structure. Choosing to play Messi today would be a calculated gamble, trading a synchronized defensive unit for the individual ability to create a goal from a single moment of brilliance. This timeline also changes the trajectory of the rivalry between Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. International achievements often swing the voting for individual awards. Ronaldo secured several of his Ballon d'Or titles during years when Messi was struggling to find success with an unbalanced Argentina side. Had Messi secured 3 consecutive major titles by age 25 with Spain, the metrics used to compare him to Ronaldo would have shifted heavily in his favor before their club-level rivalry even reached its peak in the 2010s. But the most significant impact is felt in South America, where Argentina would be left in a statistical and cultural void. This chart shows Argentina's win rates since 2005. With Messi, they won over 72. Without Messi's eventual triumph in 2022, Maradona remains the sole unchallenged figure at the pinnacle of Argentinian football history. In this reality, Messi would be viewed in Argentina as a tragic loss, a symbol of the country's finest natural resource being taken and utilized by a European power. Messi chose the harder path. He endured years of criticism regarding his commitment to his homeland, which made his eventual victory in Qatar a more emotionally significant conclusion to his career. While reality provided a deeper emotional story, the image of Lionel Messi orchestrating the greatest Spanish team in history remains a point of speculation that defines the modern era of the sport.